Ooh, that's hot. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Wavy Wayne, man, and we got a special guest today, man. We got the King, the FL Studio King, the beat making King, the producer King, the author King, Curtis King, man. We about to get it popping with my man Curtis King in just a few minutes. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in. Make sure y'all jump in my question box and let me know what kind of questions y'all want to ask Curtis King, man. Curtis King is a super producer, man, a father, husband, right? You know what I'm saying? But he's also an author. My man got his own courses. He got his own plugins out. He's super dope on YouTube. He know how to get to the bag online when it comes to this musical stuff. So that's the conversation I definitely want to have. What's up, JC? How you living? My man Tranquil in the building. Wavy, when we finna see you at Full Sail Hall of Fame? That's a good question, man. Make sure you gotta tag Full Sail Hall of Fame. Tell them to tap me in, man. You know, I just seen that they got the Hall of Fame this week. Matter of fact, how long I'm be in Orlando? Niggas, you know what? Let me see, man. I might have to pull up on my peoples over at Full Sail, do a little tour. You know, I might walk through Full Sail one time on the one time, man. I'm having crazy trouble with Pro Tools again. Went to repurchase my subscription, and it's telling me access denied. You ever experienced that? Nope. Nah, I don't know. Irko in the building. Yo, Irko, man, I appreciate that unboxing video. That joint is fire. We getting that thing together. We getting that together, man. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I just want to say thanks for you doing the interview with Guru. Great interview. Thank you, man. Guru, that was a fun time. Who all gonna be at NAMM out here, man? I hope y'all popping up at NAMM. Yo, Irko, you gonna be at NAMM? Busy Beats, you out there? Let me know. Let me know if y'all gonna be at NAMM this year in June out in Anaheim. If you're gonna be there, I definitely wanna make sure we tap in, man. Trying to buy some badges. What's up? They got badges on today? Where the badges at? Where the badges at? How do I do it? We got Irko in here. Real quick. While we waiting on the King Kurt. Oh, top of the morning.
The goats.
Top of the morning.
What kind of tea are we rocking with?
All right, this is man, what kind of tea is this? This is some green tea, right? But this is a Buddha. And my it gave me a little tip today. This says
What does it
it's
say?
better to travel well than to arrive. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they mean by that. I guess that means that the journey is the destination, right?
Yeah. I often say that direction is more important than speed. And that's kind of like the same thing, right? Like you gotta enjoy your, get to it.
Absolutely, man. How you doing over there in sunny California?
Great, man. Great. It's been kind of cold, but still sunny though. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm just here on Instagram in the studio. I'm about to have Curtis King come on here,
Oh,
the producer and all that. So whenever he come, I guess he running a couple minutes behind. But yeah, we supposed to be on here tapped in. But I was meaning to reach out to you. Are you going to be at NAMM this year?
I think so. Yeah. When is it again? It's
It's
like
June
summer, no?
3rd through the 5th.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to set up a few things so I like I'm securing a booth to be there, so like I'm just be doing like interviews, so like if you there I want you to come and stop by and you and I have a conversation, we can schedule that and all that live in there.
What about an after party at Studio Beat 3? Sign Wavy Wayne. How about
that
that?
that sounds perfect, actually. Yeah, that sounds like exactly what we need to do.
Let's do it, man. Shit.
All right, I'm with it.
I'll pick you up in the flyest ride too.
Yeah, I'm about to scoop me in the come scoop me in the DeLorean, man.
Yeah. Yo,
Absolutely.
you will be very proud of me. Look at what I'm doing right now. I'm exporting a new video right this second, right?
Nice.
Like, right now. So it's gonna be live on my YouTube in a few minutes if everything works out right. This video is about the tuning of the Augsburgers, or I guess the first tuning of the Augsburgers.
Okay. Nice, man. I can't wait to get out there and check out your stew.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I bet. Yo, Iko, I'm about to bring Curtis King in here.
For sure. Nice kicking it with you as always.
No doubt, fam. We out there. We having an after party at Studio Beats 3. in Cali, man. Let's go. Yo, you know what? We got two goats on here right now. We got two left. We all in here in the party. Yo, Curtis King, what's up? We got my man Earco. You
Curtis, what's
know.
up?
Doing? How you doing?
Yo, we just talking about how we gonna be in Cali in June. You gonna be out there? What city you in actually?
San Diego.
Curtis. Okay, so you
Oh,
already in
yeah,
Cali.
you're right here.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So yeah, let's all link up there. We got the after party at Earco Studio, a NAM party, man.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
For sure.
Word
For
up,
sure.
man.
All right, guys.
Peace,
Talk soon,
Earco.
okay?
All right.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the king in the building.
What's
What?
the
Did you
word?
just switch sets on me? I don't know what was happening. Would you had a virtual background or something?
Nah.
I don't know. For
Nah. It was
some
probably just
reason,
the
when you
light switched up.
okay, it was like blue. I thought you were like in this like blue studio setting, and then
Nah.
I switched you in. I'm like, oh no, you at the crib. All right. So, yo, Curtis, how was your gym workout this morning, man?
I didn't get a chance to do it. I was
Oh
cutting
man,
it too
so we could have been
close.
on. That's what you trying to tell me? We could have been on early.
No. I went to go drop off the little one. I cut the time too close. So I had to drop him off by 8 a.m. And I was going to go in there and squeeze a 30-minute workout in. And yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I was going to do it at home as well. But I was like, nah, let me go ahead and lock in with my guy and see what's going on.
Yo, man, like I'm about to go to. As soon as we get off this, I'm headed to the gym.
Likewise.
So you know what I'm saying, man. We just gonna switch roles, man. Because I definitely think it's important. I've been thinking about something lately about people in our industry. How can we create a fitness movement for music producers and engineers and stuff like that? Like, what you ever thought about? You know, kind of doing something like that.
In terms of a movement, I think it always starts with us. It always starts with us being an example of something that people aspire to be like. So if they see energy in you, if they see vitality in you, if they see excitement around you having goals, they're going to ask the question, where are you getting all this energy from? And I think that's a better way to approach them because they're open to the information. But you tell most folks now, like, you need to stretch in the middle of making beats. They look at it like it's the corniest thing in the world because I'm the guy that made content built around that. Like, I was like, nobody else is making content. All these producers got back problems. All these folks are spending all this time, and the stats don't lie. You know, having a job where you sit down for the majority of the time takes 10 years off of your lifespan. So unfortunately, within our culture of hip hop, it takes some extremes or some very personal things going on before people feel ignited to really make that change. So I think it's necessary though.
Yeah, man, and you know, that's one thing that I noticed about your content, and that you kind of always are bringing to the forefront about kind of being a whole person, right? I was watching one of your videos, and you were kind of just talking about how you're not just a producer. Like, we don't want to just only see you with your MIDI keyboard all the time. Like, you know, you want to show the full life, man. And showing them those results and giving, you know, something to aspire to versus being like, yo, just get up and run. Like, that might not be the way.
It don't sound like producer language to tell them to get up and run, stretch, and all that. And they don't. I know what it felt like to be in my 20s and be a producer. I didn't want to hear none of that. But then I'm 37 now, and I'm feeling the wear and tear of all the work that I put in my 20s, early 20s, late 20s, my late teens in pursuit of this. And it's crazy because I got a video that's dropping whenever I get approval from the sponsor. But it's specifically about what we're talking about right now, and that if the older you could tell the younger you what you had to endure in order to get to where you're at, would you still do it? And I think most people knee-jerk reaction is, yeah, of course. I mean, you know, you got to fall in love with the journey, but nobody really talks about those times where you're like, some days you're like, I don't know, man. Because as much as it's the blessings and you love the fruits of it, there are those days where it's like, it's just real. And you realize that regardless of the fruits of those labors, your body keeps count. Your body always keeps count.
So, man, what would you know, my question to you on that is like, what would you do to what would you have changed? You know, knowing what you know now at 37, what would you kind of tell your 20-year-old self to do differently?
Take your time and truly trust the process. I don't think I trust the process. I don't think that I trusted the process. I think that I was urgent, and I think that my urgency created a lot of success for me. But I think my urgency was a double-edged sword, in that it put me in situations where it was life or death, but it wasn't life or death. Like my mind was, it's life or death. And I think that when you listen to celebrities and you listen to interviews or listen to folks who are famous in our industry, they talk about that same urgency. But the thing that I'm more so concerned about, and this is such a 2022 type of perspective on things, is that nobody tells you when you speed up towards your goals, nobody tells you how to slow down. Nobody shows you how to slow down. Nobody tells you how to slow down and become like a master at this. Right? Because a lot of times we move with urgency because, you know, we have fear or there's energy like that that's pushing it. And we never really talk about, well, how do you repair that part of you when you are financially in a better place? How do you prepare yourself mentally when you don't have to fight like you had to fight anymore? Like I'm in a new area where I've lived in Carson, I've lived in Compton, I've lived in Long Beach, I've lived in Rialto, San Bernardino, anything that, you know, any of them cities that you can think of that got something going on, I've lived there.
Yeah.
When I moved out to a place where I didn't have to worry about the same things or be concerned or as aware, street aware, I didn't know how to turn that off. Yeah. So I got in these places and I noticed my jaws were clenched, my fists were clenched because I was like ready. Like that was the program from where I was at. You got to stay ready. Yeah. I got out here and it was like police wave at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like they wave at you to actually say hello. I wasn't ready for that. I was not prepared for that. And so I ended up having to go to volunteer.
Hold on 1 second.
Is it glitching?
Hold on 1 second, bro, because I know that was super important what you're saying. It started breaking up a little bit. So you're saying that you voluntarily went to therapy, right?
Voluntarily went to therapy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, yeah, I voluntarily went to therapy because it was like, we're in hip hop, I feel like by nature we're survivalists. Yes. Our stories, what we talk about, how we relate to one another, are survival stories, war stories we pass amongst each other. We don't have many recovery stories. We don't have many you know, growing stories to share with each other. At least we don't do that in the public sense. And I feel like now's the time to actually push that as a movement. But more so than a movement, I mean, the movement starts with you. If you don't get moving, you don't have a movement. So for me now, it is doing those things that are like breaks in the not the generational curse, but like the generational norms, breaking those and trying things that are out the norm. And I did before the pandemic, I did online therapy through an app called BetterHelp, and it was the best music career decision I made. But you won't hear people talk about that.
Man, I feel like all roads keep leading me to getting therapy sometimes soon, you know, besides my wife keep telling me every day, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's a stigma around, especially as Black men, there's a stigma around that, and that, you know, we're kind of always taught to, as kids, I don't know how your upbringing was, but I know as kids, like as the men, we're taught to stop crying. Like, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. And when you push that as a brand, you grow up suppressing emotions. And I think that the older I get now, the more I recognize like the importance of having, of being what used to be an insult, which is to call somebody wholesome, right? When you say somebody is wholesome, you look at them as like a cornball, or as, you know, living a fake life. But that's what we all aspire to, is to have a life that is whole. That is the good, that is the bad, that is the journey, that is the recovery. I want all that. And so that's where I'm at with it now. But man, I think a lot of us have the stigma that we have therapy is only when something is really, really bad. But it's like Why not, the same way that you will protect money inside of a bank, why not protect the value that is your mental health in its own bank? Why not secure that bag as well? Because that's the bag that's going to last the longest.
That's a fact, man. Like I feel that exact same way, you know, kind of like when I started out with my career, I feel like I was running, you know, and I tell people this, so I feel like I wanted to so badly to get out of the situation I was in. I wanted so badly to just be successful that I took off running with no specific direction. You know, I had a little bit of direction, but I feel like I was in the Blair Witch
Blair
Project
Witch
movie
Project,
where I'm
yeah.
just running through the woods, and eventually you get to safety, right? Nobody chasing you no more. Like you said, you into this new neighborhood, nobody chasing you no more. But now I still got my guard up. I'm still thinking somebody going to jump out from behind a tree at any minute.
Yep.
And so that keep you on your toes in these defense mechanisms and kind of all these different tactics that we build up over the years of surviving and thriving and getting through. We get to a certain place in life and we realize that we don't need those things anymore, and also they don't even serve us in our new situation, right? They kind of block us and prevent us from getting to the next level because we still using tools that helped us to get to this level, right? So it's like if I'm
Yeah.
building a skyrise building, I can't use the same tools that I built to build the foundation that I'm going to build the antennas and things on top to
Right.
keep going to the top, right? We got to change
Right.
up our tool set.
So two things I want to say about that really strike me. The first thing is that there's a dude on YouTube, and he's like really known for his ad work and whatnot, named Alex Becker, and he talks about you cannot become that person that you dream about, the person that has whatever, like say it's physical possessions, say it's a house, say it's a destination, wherever you want to be. You literally cannot be that person because you're not that person. Who you are right now has to die off because there's not enough room for you and the new person to exist, right? When you have that in your mind, you start to realize that the reason why growth hurts so damn much is because the part of you that is dying to make room for the new you. That's one.
Exactly.
What was the second point I was going to make? I forgot. But that first point is I think is crucial in that when you recognize that this is a process that requires pain. Pain is not optional. It makes it a lot easier to understand what you're going through. Because I think a lot of the pain that we feel when coming up into this is unawareness of what we're going through.
Yeah. No, I definitely identify with that, man. We don't know what the hell is going on out here a lot of time, and killing
Man.
your old self, that's definitely you know, that's something that you got to be willing to do. You know, you got to be willing to let go of things. And because I see things like this, right? We can't hold on to nothing. If you holding on and grasping, you can't receive, right? Like it's the
Facts.
same mechanism, right? Like you can't be trying so hard to and desperately to hold on to anything, any values, any beliefs, even. You know, I've always been a person to where I'm I'm an inquisitive, right? And I'm
Yeah.
always willing to change my thoughts about things upon discovering new information, right?
Facts.
I definitely live off the principle to where a wise man knows nothing, knows that you know nothing. And when you can approach situations like, hey, I don't really know anything,
Right.
for certain.
That's a mantra. That's a mantra I do in my head before I go to work. I am nothing. I am nobody, and that makes me capable of doing anything. Just clear out the expectations when you sit down. Like, especially that was the other point that I was going to make. Tell me if you notice the same thing. The more
Okay.
successful people that you meet, the slower their pace is.
What you
Maybe
mean
it's
by
something
that? Break
to,
that down
maybe it's
for me.
something to pick on. Let me break it down. So what I've noticed is that the higher up you go in terms of meeting folks who are financially, and not just financially, because that's not the only measurement of success, but they're in a place where they're taken care of. Life is in a great space. They're still aspiring to things. They move at a pace in which it's more controlled. And I think that when we're pushing to get to a destination as artists and producers, we're pushing, we get into there and we start speaking a language that is not, it's not on par with where they're at. They're speaking a language of, I'm in control of my situation. I'm aware that it's all a process. I've been down this road before. I realize there are going to be valleys and peaks, and I'm okay with that. But I trust that if I put one foot in front of the other, I'm going to get there. We don't always have that same mentality when coming up, because it's like, I gotta scrape and survive, and I gotta get past this person, and what if this person's trying to, like, we don't ever know how to turn that shit off. And so I
think
yeah. So that's something I noticed,
say
that when I talk to them, even just the way that they view the 10-year plan as opposed to the 10-minute plan is different.
Yeah. No, that's deep, man. I think that a big part of it is the representation, though, and being able to see that, right? Like when you in the hood and you in the slums, you don't have examples of people making it out of there that you can say, you know what, I can do that. This can be me. It's not, when you don't have that right in front of you, it makes it so hard to trust the process, because the only process that we see, it ain't working, right? The process that we keep seeing constantly is not working for these people. And so, you know, when people are just trust the process, give it time, and this is the way it go in 20 years, like, we ain't got time to trust the process. You know, a lot of us, we in that beginning stage.
And one last thing to add to that, bro, is that I think the reason why we don't see a lot of examples of it is because those folks are busy doing the work. They're so in love with what they do. They're so in love with the process, or so focused on what they're doing. You don't get to see them because they're not at the places that a lot of the folks who are trying to aspire to be there are attending, right? There's a reason why the people who run Twitter are not on Twitter. Like on Twitter,
right,
as folks who are really, you know, into that. There's a reason why these folks set it up, create systems that keep us on it. But they're not on it, or they even suggest their kids not even be on it. And when I look at that, I start to realize, like, damn, even with the social media, our time is their money. When I recognize that, I recognize some of the most richest people, the people that do have, you know, these possessions and things like that, that are in a place, you don't see them, because they're too busy either enjoying the fruits of that labor, or they're doing the thing that got them in that position to begin with. But I think that's why it's so important for folks like you, who are showing up on a regular basis and still attaining success, but showing what it looks like in all aspects of it. I think that's important.
Yo, same for you, because you doing the same thing. You building a lot of you building your brand up in the right way. You're going methodical about it, right? And I see that it's a lot of thought in everything that you do. And every video you put out, your website, I'm like, man, this guy is a thinker, and I respect that a lot. So what do you say, like, right now? What's a few, like, tangible ideas for people in the music industry to start, you know, kind of making money and transitioning from, all right, I'm in this creative space, but I wanna maybe start transitioning out of my 9-to-5 job and start making money online with my music. What's some tangible ideas to get them going?
The funniest thing about 2022 is that the norm used to be something that the norm for what you have to do as an artist and a producer used to be looked at as you're doing too much in the early, like, mid 2000s, right? So, like, in 2004, 5, 6, I taught myself Photoshop. I taught myself how to record myself. I taught myself how to produce. I taught myself, obviously I had folks that I worked with that gave me pointers and whatnot, but I had to learn all this stuff by myself. I was making beats on a PlayStation, so I had to figure out how to get the sound from a PlayStation through the RCA cables into a drive that I had to install on my computer, had to open up, like, that kind of mentality is something that now is the norm. You're expected to be the social media manager. You're expected to be the talent. You're expected to know something about your camera. You're expected of all these things. So here's what I think, and we may even differ on perspective, because I talked to Dorian, and y'all are killing it so much, especially with the quality plus quantity game. I just had to jump out the loop of it, because what I'm recognizing right now is that even though there's all this free real estate for us to occupy and constantly be in people's faces, at some point, those folks are going to ask, okay, I see you, I see what you're doing, but if I'm aspiring to be like you, what does your music sound like? And I started neglecting my music in the name of content creation.
Yes.
I started neglecting all these things that I do, and it's like, I've been video editing. I didn't even recognize it. I've been video editing longer than I've been making music. I didn't even recognize that because it was such a normal thing for me coming up. So I was like, all right, I think the next movement is going to be a quality, a bigger focus on quality, right? A bigger focus on how do I get the most juice out of this one orange. I think there's going to be another counter movement to that is what I believe. And so with that said, I'm at a place now where it's like, I want to move at that pace that I told you, the successful people that I talk to, I want to move at that pace, but that's going to require me to do the one thing that I have not done through my career, which is slow down and follow one course until success, an acronym for focus. Follow one course until success. That's the one thing I haven't done. I've been a jack of all trades and, you know, a master at being above average at a lot of them.
Yeah.
But never have I sat down and said, focus just on this one thing, then turn it into a two. Okay. Focus on those, make those as great as you can. So my advice to those artists and producers that are out there listening, it may not necessarily be music. Music may be the medium that connects you to other people. Music may be a shadow career for what you're supposed to be doing. Music may be a shadow career in that it's an introduction to your true passion in videography, your true passion in content creation, your true passion in whatever it is, but you won't know that until you walk this path. So if you're looking to generate income and you have a job, use your job as your angel investor. They're paying you for a service. Cool. Enjoy that money. Do something with that money productively. Obviously, you want to invest it into your craft, invest it into whatever you're into, but invest that money. But that's your angel investor. And they're guaranteed by law. They're supposed to pay you for your services, right? So I look at it now from that perspective and realize you got that job, take that income and do that. It's the same mentality that I have with the sponsorship deals that I've been getting. I used to be like kind of anti-sponsorships, but let me close the door. I used to be anti-sponsorships, but it was like they are providing an opportunity for me to leverage my use and my support of their product and share with my audience to be able to make an income off of what I'm doing, aka affiliate marketing. Right. There's so many ways to generate income in what you're doing, but you just gotta pick one and trust, even when it gets ugly, even when it's nasty, when it's like, damn, I'm not making no money. You gotta stick to it, right? The reason why a lot of pioneers in whatever industries don't get paid is because they don't stay around long enough, or they don't have the bread to stay around long enough. So my suggestion for those artists and producers working a 9 to 5, find one thing to generate income, and it doesn't necessarily have to be music. If you have a knack and an eye for aesthetics and you can create graphic designs, even if you can do it on Canva, do it for other artists, generate that income. Do it, but go all in. That's what I did with video editing. That's what I did with Photoshop. That's what I did with all these things, so that even when I had to hire somebody, I could speak their language in a way that's like, I know you to be your best.
My man Curtis King over there. You got taught. They got caught up in the Matrix, bro. When you start getting too deep, the Matrix guys say, "Hold up."
They don't want to hear that.
Word
it's all
up.
good.
No, use your job to be your investor, right?
Your angel investor. That's all it is. Use your job instead of, like, it's really about your perspective and what you're going through. If you want to make money, I had a manager, former manager of mine. He said, "You want to make money? Go get a job." He said, "You chose an industry in which it's a challenge. It is a supreme challenge to try to milk this and make it your 9 to 5. If you want just money, go get a job, right?" And it was such an eye-awakening conversation, because it was like, yeah, that is that, but that would not make me happy to do that. So I am choosing to do it through the medium and vehicle of music. Because you're choosing that, you are choosing everything that comes along with it, which is the heartbreak, which is the broke times, which is, you know, the pain of it. You can't just have all the good and not have the other side of it as well. And understanding that, it's a lot easier to find those things that you're also passionate about outside.
Word up, man. I always, always tell people to don't get into music industry to make money. Like, if that's what you want to do, if you want to be rich, if that's your goal, Is it go study finance, go
There's
do
so
real
many easier
estate,
ways. There's so
go
many
do
easier ways to make
anything
money
else?
out here. You want to rap?
Exactly. Yeah, because because it looked like it, right? And you see the rappers flaunting the money, but the people that really got the money, there's so many more people around you. If you just look, go to your local Starbucks and look at the next person
Bam,
pull up in a Porsche and ask
bam.
them what do you do? You know, maybe I
You
need to
know,
get off into that because
you
nope, nope, nope. Some
you hear me now?
it's going crazy. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Let me turn this 5 a.m. Kush said he
So,
still didn't answer the question on making money in music, and you're not listening.
oh man,
we're
right.
going back and forth about how you have to find other crafts outside of music to make money in music. If you're in music to make money, you won't make music because you won't make the kind of music people want to pay money for. If you're making music that is you're just treating money as pretty much your pimp. Are you trying to pimp music? You're gonna get the results of that pimping. You try to pimp music and you don't actually do this as an artist and you don't have a passion for this and you're only focused on just the money, you're gonna get the results of that. So you can't, I think only identifying the way that you can make money is the wrong thing to do. I think the right mentality is, what do I do personally? Which is why you cannot universally give that to everybody. What do I do personally that gives value, that people find valuable about what I do?
Yes.
They may not feel like your beats or your music is valuable right now, but they may feel like, damn, when you get on the camera and give me advice for 30 seconds, that's something I would pay a consultation or coaching fee for. You know what? I don't like your music, but I love your album art. Who makes it? Oh, you do. On Canva? Damn, it would be dope if you did a Canva course. I'd buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to be flexible to the idea that just because you love or you're doing the music and you're doing it for the money, that don't mean everybody owe you any money. None of these folks owe us any of their dollars. That's their money.
Yes.
So
it's
I'm
up
not a
to us to
believer in
bring the value
finessing
to them.
You got to find how to give value. There is no shortcuts to this. You got to figure that out for yourself. Only thing that we can do is give you options or directions to look in. I think that is our responsibility from what we do on these platforms. But outside of that, nobody knows what you're great at except for you and the people who are consuming what you do. That's it.
And then I look at it like this too, man. Like a lot of y'all, if you want to try to find how to give value to the people that follow you, to your consumers, your fans, whatever, you got to think about the stuff that brings you value. Like, what are you willing to open up your wallet and pay for? What are you using your time consuming, right? And then look at your product and really be honest with yourself. Would I pay for that? Would I buy that? Is that something I would subscribe to? See, a lot of it, we be lying to ourselves. A lot of my students, my mixing students, they lie to themselves, like and tell themselves that the mix is sounding good when they know, like, you listen to music every single day. Like, stop. You got to have an honest ear. You got to have an honest mentality when you are approaching it and saying, like, yo, am I really bringing a true value? Is this something that can be helpful for somebody? Would I pay for this? Man, that's one of the simplest ways to find out, where your value lies, is to see, is this something that I want to put my money on? All right.
And I
And
think
I love how
also,
you have all these. Yeah, I was gonna say I love how you have these other like auxiliary courses. So you were saying like stuff like, you're not necessarily leaning on music to bring you money. So you're doing affiliate marketing. You're doing you got a course on how to grow your YouTube channel. You out here with your own plugin, which I want to talk about, man. How did that come about?
So I want to make sure I deliver value. Like, I don't ever look at anybody as a hater. I think people are always folks who are looking for information. I like to give information. I'll tell you this. I didn't have my first 6-figure year until I started selling beats online. That was my stream. I was an artist before I was a producer. I became a producer because I couldn't pay for beats. So I became an artist, right? I sold albums. I've had 2 albums that went as high as number 3 on the iTunes hip hop charts. 2 EPs, I should say. But as an artist, shows, merchandise, it's pretty much how it cut at that point in time. I transitioned to a producer, but even as a producer, I only made up to 6 figures. But there was opportunities for instance, DistroKid. I got on a video and chose to talk about this service called DistroKid, give an instruction and a YouTube video and show them how you distribute your music. I had no idea when I did that video in my 700 square foot apartment that was going to be a video that accumulated 600,000, 700,000 views. I also didn't know they was going to account for $64,000 in affiliate income. It's not, that's something I can't predict.
Right.
But it's there in every program, every plugin, every company as an artist, whatever you are using. I am sure they have something or connected to somebody with an affiliate program.
Yep.
That is a good place to start. Talk about the things you already rock with and why you rock with them. Share the link, your unique link, and then get paid off of it. But what I've recognized is that the reason why I had to create so many streams of income is because as a solopreneur, your life source is your cash flow. And if you don't have some sort of cash flow coming from somewhere, and if it's all in just one place, you're setting yourself up for disaster when things like pandemics happen.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't have to be that drastic. But so with that said, plugins is one stream of income.
Yes.
There's a company that I've been running with my boy, oh gosh, that is a sound design company called Slap Experts, specialized in sounds for music producers. My book, The Prosperous Hip Hop Producers, another stream of income. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. YouTube ad revenue is another stream of revenue. Whenever I'm active, Instagram Reels becomes another stream of revenue. The trick is not trying to find just streams of revenue, but trying to find passive streams of revenue that don't turn into 7 different jobs. That's the part that I got later on, right? I thought you had to get 7 jobs, and I was like, this don't feel fun no more. Like, this don't feel like what millionaires are supposed to do. I was like, I don't want to be a millionaire there. This is what I got to do. But it's not 7 jobs, it's 7 passive or 7 streams of income, right? And in order to set that, you got to diversify. So with me, it's a learning process, a constant learning process, because one well may go dry. Okay, well, I gotta figure it out. I sell courses. Right? I sell courses for producers and content creators on CurtisKing.com. All the stuff is on CurtisKing.com, but you have to stay flexible and you got to try stuff, and you have to be willing to invest 20 hours into a product that flops.
What I know you broke up a little bit there, but I think you was definitely pointing on you got to be willing to invest, right? You got to be willing to put that money back into the company, right?
That you got to be willing to sacrifice, because people think because you give something a lot of time that it's guaranteed to make you money. It's not. You have to be willing to go in same way you do for an album, and you create all these songs, and then the project flops. You better be prepared to invest 20 to 30 hours into a course or product, and it doesn't do well. That's fine. I'm not here just for the results. I'm here to understand what's going on. If I understand why it didn't meet the goals that I needed it to reach, that's all I need from that. I won. No matter if it sells 1 copy, I learned something. Let's move that to the next product. Let's make that product even better. But if I'm going through these things, one-on-one consultations, thank you. Lazy Eye Music has reminded me. I got another stream of income. One-on-one consultations. So you have to stay open to these things. But all of this, no matter what you get into, goes down to the question I asked in the very beginning. What do you do that provides value? Truly provides value. It was never about the money. These are just things that can make money.
Yo, man, this whole thing is bringing me back to this little advice that's on my tee right now. It says it's better to travel well than to arrive. And that's pretty much exactly what my man Curtis just said, right? Like if I spend 20, 30 hours developing this course and it flops, well, it wasn't about the end goal necessarily. It's about that whole process. What did I learn from putting this all together? That whole journey of me doing that, trying to figure out a way to get value, that's just a part of it. We get so tied up to the result. And then when we don't get the result we want, we negate all of the lessons that we learned along that way. Like, oh, man, I missed the shot, so I must not forget the dribbling training, forget all this defense and everything I learned because at the end of the day, I missed the shot, right? And that's the totally wrong way of looking at it. That's still a part of the process. I love like to see like one of these old movies or something when you got like an artist or something and they drawing a picture and they just keep ripping it off and throwing it, right? It's
Right,
okay to reach the ending and be like, nah, this ain't it. Scrap it and start over again, right? And
yeah.
just keep doing that. Let's not get attached to that end goal. Let's definitely get attached to the process of wanting to have the best and wanting to be the best and keep figuring it out, keep evolving, shedding skin, growing layers until we get there.
Does not be afraid of growth. Cannot be afraid of growth. One thing that I also wanted to add as another caveat to that is, bro, folks don't talk about, they always talk about when pain occurs or when, you know, you don't accomplish your dreams and it's the pain that sets in. Everybody can relate to that. Not many people talk about the pain that sets in after you achieve your biggest goals and you don't have anything left or you don't have anything next to set up. That's one that I think that only folks who are achieving these high level goals are going to understand in their life. There's folks in here who understand what I'm talking about. The depression even that sets in when you finally have been fighting your ass off to get to this destination and you finally get there and you ask yourself, okay, what's next? You don't have a what's next. It makes you look at the blessings that you earned a little bit differently. It makes the paint on that car just a little bit less shiny. Right, you start to notice the dents and the things going on with it. It's important that you remind yourself, as you said, to enjoy and fully grasp the moment of what you're doing. If you're in a place right now where things are bad, it sounds completely crazy for me to say this. You're gonna have a day where you're gonna miss these days because it's simple. You know what's bad. You know what to expect. When you get to another level, that next tier, the person, when you have to become a different person as you start to transition, you're going to look back and say, damn, I had it so easy. It was bad, but I had it so easy. And I have those moments now where it's like, we went from that 700 square foot apartment to now 4,000 square foot home. And it's like, I remember sitting in the living room the first month. I appreciate it. I remember sitting in the living room the first month, like, this is it? Like, this was all just for this?
Bro. Exactly. And that's my whole point. And so like I feel like every single person knows that. Every single person, whether you've been a child or you worked hard for something, right, to where you wanted this toy or something so bad, you begged for it, you get it on Christmas Day, and then you got that same feeling like, I guess that's cool. And then two weeks later, you don't even care about it no more.
Yes.
Things, once you obtain the object of your desire, you more often than not, realize that it was not what you expected it to be, or it didn't bring you what you expected it was going to bring you. That's why things will never bring you fulfillment, truly, not lasting fulfillment. It can only fulfill you in a moment, because at the end of it, once you get it, you got it in your hand, the allure, the lust is gone. And really that was what was so enticing for you. That was what was motivating you, was that lust for that thing. And once you actually got that thing, man, it's like you know how it is when you get a bad chick and then once you're done, you're like, oh well, I'm done. Like, dang, it wasn't even really nothing.
It's bro. And when you say that, we sound so ungrateful when we say this to people who are like, oh man, what you mean? But you won't understand until you get to a place where you're like, damn, I did it, even though parts of me feel like I wouldn't do it. And now I'm here. And now the reality of it sets in. And it's like no matter what you want, there's something that comes along with it. I remember I had a homie that bought a Lamborghini, wanted that. It was his dream car and was scared to get gas at night.
He's scared to get gas at night.
Get gas because if he pulls out by himself, they know you got money. You got money written all over you. He's scared to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Little things like he can't have people close his passenger door because he had butterfly doors. So it's like he could, like, it sounds like such rich problems, but it's like you don't think about these things when you're only thinking about the shiny things or the blessings that you want. But everything that you look at, especially material thing, it gets old, it gets dirty. There's bad sides to it. Even like when you think about all these folks back in the early 2000s, one of these Hummers, trying to get rid of them Hummers right now when $7 a gallon for gas right now. It's just different when you actually get it. So in recognizing that, you realize remember J. Cole said something along the lines of,
Yep.
of fully
If you're
embracing the
addicted to
story
success,
before.
you're gonna always want more success. If it's girls, you're
Always
gonna
want
always
more.
want more girls. If it's money, you're gonna always want more money. Like you never gonna get enough of whatever it is that you want. So
Yeah.
make what you
Yeah.
want love. Huh. Make that
And
true, genuine love for yourself. Like and
facts.
then that's the one thing that'll get you right. Because anything else, you just gonna be on a rat race for the rest of your life, on a rabbit wheel, on a little hamster wheel, right?
Facts. Love yours and
Yeah.
whatever you got going on, because this is part, like, I like to look at our stories, our individual stories, as Wikipedia pages. Every Wikipedia page has the early stages of somebody's life. They got the success stages. They got the bad stages. We're all living that. I remember I used to study Kanye's coming up because I was like, man, I'm getting ready to turn 28. Like when he was 28, he's getting his Grammy. But I recognize we all have our own pages to create. So when you have your own story to tell and you recognize, yeah, I'm going in a path that makes it seem like I'm not going to make where I'm going to go, but it's not nobody else's story but yours. When you recognize that you're creating your own movie, right?
Yeah.
You're creating your own movie, or sometimes you're an extra in somebody else's movie. And it's okay to be that. When you recognize these points, things happen and you're like, damn, why did I go through that? It wasn't about you. Sometimes it's about what you can be for somebody else's movie, somebody else's page. And as you start to recognize that we are all tools within each other's lives, and there's a reason why even you and I linked up today, because you never know, something is said that sparks an idea and then something else becomes, you know, a result of that. I'm open to it. And I think that's probably the most important thing, is that I now understand what it means to love the process. When I was mashing out content like crazy over the last, I don't know how many years, I wasn't loving the process. Now, I spend a week on a video for YouTube. I'm having the most fun I've ever had because I'm locked in. I love this.
I see it in you. I see it in your videos, man. The quality, the details, you know, the storytelling, like it's all there. Like, you know, I see the thought in the quality over the quantity aspect, man, for sure. And one thing that I want to add into what we was just talking about is, you got to remember, everybody out there, y'all got to remember, you know, that you are literally the world's first, the world's only to do whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care if you make beats in FL Studio, or you mix in Pro Tools, whatever it is. You might have had an example of somebody doing something similar to what it is that you want to do, but you are really the world's only you, the world's greatest you. Like that. And when you know and move about life in that situation, like literally right now, this is the world's first. Right? What we're doing, Wavy Wayne and Curtis King, this is the world's first. Right? This is the world's only time that this is. This is significant. This is unique. Right? Everything that we're gonna do from on here, moving off of here, is gonna be the world's first, right? And so I move with that mentality. Everything that I'm doing is this is the first time anybody ever did this in the world. I don't hey, you know?
And who better than you? Who better than you to live your story? Like, I know that sounds like a Hallmark card, but it's like, who would you rather play your role?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, folks be like, oh, you look like DJ Khaled. I would not want DJ Khaled playing my role. There's nuances that he cannot master. Shout out to him. There's nuances he cannot master about me. You know why?
Yeah.
Because that role is meant to be played by me. And I think that, as you are saying already, when we start embracing that, every part of our story, not just the good parts, not just, you know what I'm saying, even the bad parts, are all a part of the journey that we must find a way to fall in love with, because it's yours. It's yours. It was given to you for a reason, right? Like, even to be a little bit more personal on that end, like my son is speech delayed, and he's been so he's about to be turning 4. And in the pandemic delayed that even more, to the point where, you know, at some point we may even be having to get him tested to see if he might be possibly on the spectrum. I remember asking God, like, man, like, we did everything right with the like why is this happening and what's going on, like, what? But then it's like a thought came to me. I'm sure God implanted that thought. Who would you rather him go to? You're perfect for this. You and your wife are perfect for this. This is your destiny. You're supposed to take care. Who else is going to give him the love he needs? Because he needs extra loving. Who else is going to give him that love? And when I recognize that and recognize that we are not, life is not happening to us, life is happening for us.
Yes,
strap
indeed.
up, it's time to go to work.
Say that again, man. Life is not happening to you, it's all happening for you. The whole universe is literally working in your favor, man.
Yeah. Whatever it is that you say that
I
you
used to have
want,
these visions as a kid.
fam, like, and you recognize, I know you recognize it because I hear it within your content. Whatever it is that you want in this world, just know that whatever you believe in, whatever higher power you believe in, God, you believe in, whatever you believe in, is working to create that. But most times that we don't succeed in that is because we're getting in our own way and we don't believe. We're doing things that are counterproductive to what we said we want. I want to have my own business. Okay, then why do you keep giving your energy and time to other people who have no interest in building in you? Why do you keep giving Netflix series and all these things? Like, I don't have any issues with leisure time. You need leisure time. You need hobbies. But why are you giving all of your time away from work to these entities, people who are living their dreams, but you're not giving any energy to what you say you want to do? Universe can only do so much. At some point in time, you got to get up too. And you got to go. You have to coincide with all these elements that are working into your favor. So every time that I've looked at like setbacks that I've had, they've always been setbacks that slowed me down and made me think, yo, Curtis, chill out, bro. That's not what you came here for. What I come here for? You came here to do this, remember? Oh, yeah, I did, huh? And I get back on track and I get back to it. But it's like, you're not going to recognize that when you're just this locomotive that just on go mode. Every year, I take an off season the same way that athletes do. In December, I take the whole month off. No social media, no. I just focus in on how aligned or out of alignment am I with my goals? And people don't want to do that because it hurts to understand, to recognize how out of alignment you are. There's nothing
You gotta
wrong.
do a self-evaluation, right?
There's nothing wrong with being out of alignment. Planes do it all the time on purpose. There's a line that planes cannot see if they're traveling perfectly on it. They have to travel off that line towards the destination many times to see how far off they are of the line. They have to get off the line, off the path, in order to look and see, okay, I'm 5,000 whatever away from here. Cool, let's get back on path. They purposely go off path to stay on path. What makes us any different? Towards our destination, what makes us any different? So when you fall off path, don't get discouraged, don't get angry. Like, feel all those emotions. I'm not gonna say that. Feel all those emotions, but recognize you must get off path to recognize how off path you are, so you can get your ass back on and get to work.
Hey, that's a fact, man. It's like they say when you hit rock bottom, it's only one way to go is up. So it's so live in that, love that, accept that, and realize, like my man Curtis said, whenever a setback has happened, it's been to make you sit back and have more time to think and reevaluate that job that you wanted you didn't get. Right? I tell people this. Right before when I was living in New York, man, work has slowed up for me as a freelance engineer. You know, it's highs and lows, right? We on peaks and valleys when you freelancing. So things slowed up for me. I went to go start applying for jobs, man. I was like, you know what? I want to work at the Apple store. I think I'd be a good fit for working at the Apple store, right? Nothing wrong with the Apple store, but I ended up going for the interviews. I got very far up, and then ultimately they decided not to give me the job, right? And I was like crushed, devastated. I'm like, damn, I really wanted to work at this Apple store. But to me now, looking back on it, I'm like, damn, I probably would have rested too hard on that. You know, if I would have got that job, I would have been too comfortable and be like, yo, I'm cool now, right? So those things that we don't get, the doors that don't open, are they definitely for us. So I always remember that, and it can get hard when you down on your luck and you down on your dollar and all that. Be like, damn, how is this working for me, right? But you have to be in an open enough mindset, an open enough spirit to realize what blessings are in this moment. You know, what lessons are in this moment. So that's definitely my man breaking up. You getting all this money, B. We're gonna have to get your Wi-Fi up.
Wi-Fi. It's just, man, I don't be on IG. IG don't love me no more because I don't be on here.
You took too many breaks.
Man, I took too many breaks. You know, they like don't come on here trying to, you know what I'm saying? Come on here trying to talk now. Yeah, like that was the last thing that you just said. You said something that I wanted to make that
how I was basically just speaking on how the world is working for you, the universe working for you, not
right.
against you, right? I almost got a job that would have pigeonholed me and made me comfortable, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so to bring it and make it more real for folks who may feel like, oh, okay, I watch your guys' content. You guys are in a good place. It's easy for you to say this. Okay. Just last year, my business took its biggest hit that it's taken since I started it because of that iOS change with the ads. It got so bad that I started thinking about, do I need to pick up some part-time? We're still in the middle of a pandemic. There's a lot of things going on. All these streams of revenue are starting to dry. Guess what? The people who are paying for these products are also going through the same pandemic. And all that spending that they did in 2020, now they're tightening up on their income and saying, "Ooh, I gotta be a little safer about my purchases. Maybe I'm not gonna buy this $100 course from Curtis. I know it's value, but I'm just not in that position to pay for that because it's light bill, your course, your sound pack, or my cell phone bill." When I recognized that, I started realizing, like, man, I may need to pick up some work. But it's funny because, you know, God bless my wife. She said, "Do you think it might be time to reopen yourself to the relationships you have with sponsors?" And I was like, ugh. Like look, I got Nipsey on the wall. Like I'm about my independence. Like that is something I feel like my ownership. I was like, ugh. But then I recognize, like, I'm a solopreneur and I can only do so much on my own. And until I'm in a position to expand and build out a team, which I started doing before I got hit in my business, that's not a luxury that I can afford to just ignore. And so I started to reestablish relationships I had with the sponsors that I've been working with, got some new sponsors, and they to my redemption story after taking that hit. So I just want folks to recognize, like, when you're in this and you're committed to this, there is no level that you get to and you stop taking hits. You still gonna get your ass whooped.
Ever.
Forever. That's what you chose when you said, I want to do music and make it through music. You gonna get your bro.
Yeah.
My hair don't look like this on purpose. You feel me? Like life was
your
like
choice is standing up.
Look, life was combing my hair for me. You feel me? Like I ain't had no choice. Pushing my hairline back and all that. But it's part of the process. I know what I signed up for. So that being said, I embrace it and I recognize that every step of the way, there is some level of humility that must be learned. There is some getting stuff off of my plate as part of the process and focusing on the things that only matter. Right now, the only thing that matters for me, it's not Instagram for me. It's not Twitter. It's not TikTok, even though I could take off on all those. It's YouTube. And right now, creating these short films for music producers is where my heart is at. It's where my passion is at. It's the one thing that I can deliver that I know is premier, top tier. I walk away from those 15, 16-hour editing sessions and say, I'm proud of that. That's what I'm running with.
Hey, that's what matters, man. You know, having something that you can create and put out into the world that you are proud of, that you know is bringing value. Like, ultimately, you're going to win with that, right? When you put your passion into it and you strategic about it and you know that you are, you bringing value to people, then you have no choice but to win in that case. And, man, that's why you win it. That's why, no matter what changes in the algorithms, you're still going to find a way to make it make sense, right?
Bro, but I got to tell you, with the algorithms, as much as I see folks sometimes in my audience complain about the algorithms are not the enemy. Some folks ain't going to hear that. Algorithms are not your enemy.
Go ahead and break their heart.
I got to break their heart. Algorithms are not your enemy. YouTube, first of all, YouTube has many different algorithms. Right. So with YouTube and what I figured out with the AI technology it needs time to recognize who finds what you do interesting and how do you put it in front of them so that they see it, consume it, and want to consume other things. That is a system I'm so glad I don't have control over, because I don't know how to control that. What I'll say is this: one thing that you cannot cheat. Every time you turn that camera around to your face, anybody out here that you show off, you do your content and you say your words and you do whatever you do, make sure that shit is quality. Because when you take care of that, the algorithm takes care of you. The algorithm takes care of you. When you take care of that 1 minute video that you did on TikTok, that 1 minute video that you do on whatever it is, show up and show out, the algorithm will take care of it. Because all those metrics that you can't see, how many seconds does this person watch this video? How many more seconds is that compared to other content? All these metrics that the AI system is picking up on, you cannot cheat your way out of making great content. You cannot cheat your way out of making great music. It comes back down to the craft of whatever you're doing. Yeah. So instead of focusing on how to cheat the algorithm and figure out these hacks, just make better shit.
Yeah.
The algorithm will take care of you.
The content is king, man.
It sounds like it's like, no, it's got to be a secret to it. No, ain't no secret. That's it.
Yeah, we definitely got to keep in mind that these platforms, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, Instagram, they already have their audience. And they have so much data on what their audience wants to see. And so all they're really wanting from you as a creator is to make something that they can show their audience, right? Yes. And then whatever, if you give them something that I can go show my peoples, then we're going to keep showing it to people, right? But if my people don't like it, I ain't going to show nobody, right? We got people, they got people. YouTube got people. Instagram, they got their people. They got all their people coming on every single day looking for something. Right. So if it's up to the content creator to say, hey, YouTube, here's something for you to show your audience. Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why TikTok is such a cheat code, because even if you're not I know a lot of my older audience feels like I don't know my place on TikTok. Okay, respectfully. But TikTok For You page is a literal dictionary of content that works.
Yeah.
I'll repeat again. It's a literal dictionary of content that works. It's literally giving you, do something like this, it'll go off.
Yes.
Stay consistent with one of these formats and it's going to go off. How do we know that? Because it's on your For You page.
Yeah. And
every single thing on my For You page, that's the thing that I think makes a difference between TikTok and Instagram, is that Instagram gives you back, they're changing it, right, by suggesting pages you don't follow. But TikTok says, here's what's working. Now, here's what you're doing. All right? Here's what you're doing and the people that you follow. Sometimes we follow bad examples of social or content creators. So use those tools and look and say, damn, why did this get my attention? Oh, because in the first 3 seconds, they did something really, really interesting.
Exactly.
Oh, because they didn't talk my ear off. It wasn't a talking head video. They found a way to, the angle is fire. Oh man, like that's a really creative way to edit it. Ask those questions, you'll make better content. You make better content, the algorithm's gonna for sure find who to put you in front of, because your time equals their money. They want you to win. They want you to win, but they're not about to put your grainy ass picture of a bowl of cereal in front of 400,000 people. For what? For what? Or your SoundCloud screenshot. Nobody want to see your screenshot. I've been looking at some artist pages, and this is no diss, but he be looking like brochures for SoundCloud. He be looking like straight up brochures for SoundCloud. Like, SoundCloud is the platform you're using. It ain't your business. What you sharing screenshots for? Get that music and find ways to do it in which you would want to watch.
Yes. Hey, definitely, man. Analyze your timeline. That's the best way, like we said. But hold on, he said not just your timeline, because you might be following some bad examples of your friends and stuff. So not just your timeline. Go to the Explore page, go to the For You page, and that's where you can get some good examples of content that works. All right. Yeah. Yo, my man Curtis King, I want to wrap this up, which I don't want to keep you too long. Shout out to all the new followers, you know what I'm saying, that's popping in. This is just the beginning, man. I definitely got to tap in, and we got to do something else on a higher level with my guy Curtis King.
We got to bring you on the channel. We got to bring you on the channel to do an interview soon, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, Curtis, before we get out of here, you got anything you want to remind the people of or let them know that's coming up for you?
Well, I was working on it all day long yesterday, but finally I have a central hub for everything. So I no longer have to give you all of my socials and all these different things. Just go to CurtisKing with 2S's.com. CurtisKing.com will give you a window view of everything from my book to the plugins, to the sound packs, to my music, to just my story in general, my courses, all that good stuff. But even if you don't go to that, one thing that I want you to leave with, huh?
I said that Curspiration.
Perspiration, yeah. Shout out to everybody from my family and an audience that's here supporting. I greatly appreciate you being here. But one thing I want to leave you with is, you know, at the end of the day, this is your story to tell. This is your journey. Someone said earlier about they hate the fact that they have to be a content creator as an artist. Well, that's one word from switching to something that's more interesting. Instead of thinking of content, think of message. Instead of thinking of the word brand, think of the word reputation, and then see where your brain goes. Instead of saying, damn, how do I build up my brand? That doesn't sound fun. That sounds only fun to marketers, right? But when you say, how do I build up my reputation? Your brain starts going crazy. You say, oh, I can do many things. When you think about content, instead of saying, how do I create the best content that I can for my timeline? You're not a marketer. Stop saying that, artist. Instead, say, what message do I want to get out about this music or this song that I got? What's the message? Your brain starts going like, oh, well, we wouldn't do a screenshot or a screen recording of you know, Apple, whatever, the Apple Music playing a preview of the music. We're not going to do that. No. I got to tell this story. This song is about heartbreak. Let me break down a heartbreaking moment in mine and make the music the soundtrack of that heartbreaking story. Yeah. So no matter what it is that you're experiencing right now, it is all a shift of perspective. And for some of you, it may just have been us having this conversation today. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you inviting me here to your platform, and appreciate you, man.
It's my pleasure, bro, man. I just want to reiterate them words, man. Instead of content, think messaging. Instead of branding, think your reputation, man. Those are wise words. Make sure y'all go ahead and rock with that for today. We can't get no more heavy. Shout out to everybody that tapped in with us. Shout out to the new followers, the bad supporters. Thank you, Curtis King, taking your time out to speak with me and you know, everybody that's on this live today, man. We're gonna definitely tap in.
All right, peace. Appreciate you.
I'm out of here. Y'all